little NA. This was going to be an Anaheim event, so it just feels right to have Complexity starting things off. But you know what? Credit to HEET. I don't want to wear our bias on our sleeve too aggressively. This HEET team is impressive. They've done a lot over the course of the last year to put themselves in the hearts and minds of the Counter-Strike world. And I'm pretty excited to actually see them compete here at Challenger 48. I think that they could bring a lot of heat. Oh god, I did it already.
You've already done it.
I did it already.
I thought we were going to try and avoid that.
It wasn't intentional.
That's what they all say. That's what they all say, isn't it? Well, it's Complexity here starting on the CT side, and it's a great push over towards the banana straight away. JT finds some success. Now a little bit of a reset for HEET. They'll hit their way over towards this A site instead. Already controlled towards the bracket, and Body wants to get aggressive. It's Fang tucked close on the site and he has support. A crossfire rotates underway. Feels like this comes down to Body. How much space can he buy? How much time can he stave off these rotators? Because they're coming quickly. Fang will talk Floppy on his way, but Body still aggressing. Now he's an issue. For the players on the site, it just has to come to the duels, and Grim for the first, trying to stay alive, trying to maintain towards these back lines, but taken down. Joko to do so. And it falls to the retake.
Really nice moves here from HEET. That A setup is sometimes quite difficult to dig players out of. Grim in particular is a player who's had some nice highlights recently on Inferno, playing this site, and he's dealt with there. A little bit of a boost up to try and get that initial pick, to try and get them something headed back in, but a flashbang will slow them down even a bit further. There is a kit for JT, so a bit more time to work with, but not much. They got to get moving, they got to do it now, and strong positioning for HEET means they are going to be nigh on impossible to deal with unless the fights come through, and that's a bit of a blunder from Body. Thought he was safe with the flashbang, but Junior, blind or not, will get that pick.
Oh, Joko on the site takes down one. Afro there fast back on the trade, so HEET able to grab things up nice and fast for the pistol. They lose out on an early man from the banana aggression. The fast readjustment, huge, and even better was Body's positioning.
And the thing is as well, because they left Afro behind just to deal with the potential banana flank, I thought Complexity actually had a really good situation. Because they keep that man locked in, then they could rotate, they have the advantage in numbers, but the aggressive play into library by Body, you absolutely call it. He was the critical piece there, and getting the kill that he needed, it was only one, but it was enough. That opens the round right back up. So well done for HEET here.
Still, Cole, they have the Deagles to work with. We heard it in the interview with Junior. With the firepower, sky's the limit for the individuals on this squad.
You're looking at Floppy, in my opinion, when the Deagle's out. He's a bit of a Deagler.
A bit of a Deagle demon, would you say?
A bit of a Deagle demon. There's some good Deaglers on this. Grim, Fang, Floppy. They can all pop.
Even Junior when he gets the time right, but takes down some damage early from the Molly. A lot of space being given over here early to the side of HEET as Junior will re-rotate in, spots the smoke, should soon call for a rotation once his full play is shown. Joko, fast taking space.
That's kind of interesting. The 1xBet odds do not reflect the Twitch chat odds we saw earlier. Yeah, 1xBet liking HEET a bit more than they did in the Twitch chat. So.
Well, I suppose maybe a couple more Europeans over the 1xBet side. Less NA copium flowing through. Well, maybe it's not just copium, because this is starting to hit. 2 Deagle shots already fired through, and Afro falls as well. There's yet to be a single trade from this T side. Lucky works back in, but still in the pit is Grim. He's low on HP, but he's alive, and JT's recovered a rifle. Now just one man. Exercise. The HP low on his opposition, but the flash is just perfection. Out of Floppy, you were hyping up the Deagles, and they live up to it.
Grim in the pit, man. Grim in the pit. It felt like on Liquid every time we got a real big Grim highlight. It was from the pit on Inferno, and he's continuing that form here as part of Complexity. I'm loving this. The Deagles early on popping. I think maybe a little bit of timidness coming through from HEET after they lose that initial pick. A little bit of slowness coming in towards the site, and they just give too many opportunities for those hand cannons to pop.
That it does. Now the pie is really rough. At least there's some Deagles to work with on this side for HEET. This Complexity, maybe considering getting a little aggro in mid. Fang was poking, but the aggression instead is over towards the banana. If you look in comparison, that previous round, Cole contesting far more space on their rifles and nothing really given over just yet.
They're loving that banana control early.
Yeah.
The aggression. JT taking the point on it as well. He's been a player who's stepped forward in individual form, right? Early on, not in this roster, but if you're looking back at TK, looking back at Extra Salt, there were some complaints about individual form. They're not there anymore. Joko gets a second now. This is interesting. Again, the Deagles making their way, but this time they're on the other set of hands. Junior will take one, but they're completely locked out of this site. And with 3 guns up and not much of an economy built this early on, there's a question about whether you want to go for this. There's 4 on the other side. They've got 2 rifles now. I think discretion says maybe you just let this one slip away.
The resmoke should ensure it, right?
It
Surely
should.
you don't respect that. Look at the utility. There's nothing much to work with. Couple flashes. They're going to stick around, see if Heat will give him something, but the setup is so strong on the site. Joko can swing off contact. The Deagles, proving to be those sacrificial lambs, is exercising Joko. We'll just buy their time. And talk of time, there's really none left. Still, Complexity, they're trying to go for this. Push forward. It was a suicide mission.
That's a very questionable decision. Yes, you likely would have wanted to eco around this guns in the next round, but you might as well keep 3. That gives you a situation to put up a fight in this round. I don't know what that call was, but waiting for the smoke to fade, they all go in, they do commit. Clearly unified in their decision, just unified in a poor decision, shall we say. Big round from Joko. Big round early on as he's looking to put some impact on the board. And Heat, they make up for the blunder. They make up for dropping against the Deags. They do it back.
That they do. And now Complexity, it's just going to be the USP. Stack over towards the A site. 3 will set up early, even have a boost up for Grim. But Joko's already claiming good chunk of space here. We'll be able to take the apartments. They should be able to get a feel out onto this stack early.
I mean, it's just with the USPs, right?
Yeah.
It's one thing with the Deags. I don't believe. Not yet. Joko trying his luck. That's not quite the position on the awning.
Close.
Not far off. But if they trigger this trap, I mean, there's always the possibilities for the USPs to drop it down early. Molly's going to make this more difficult.
Well, flash
He's
forward.
out.
They've spotted it. They know about this setup, and Fang will at least find one. He's good for that. Junior, little more. Can he get the AK? Not quite. Trades there. The French are keeping this one under wraps as Floppy will be quite late back on the rotation. Any more damage is good. Lucky low enough to maybe be able to find something. But regardless, Heat should be grabbing this one quite cleanly.
I think it's more about getting one of those rifles out of mid. It's Secret Agent Flop. See if he can get a gun here. USP behind enemy lines, doing his best James Bond impression. Not on the scoreboard. I mean, literally trying to be James Bond. But it's not going to happen. He's not the Secret Agent right now. And there will be no rifle found. That would have been nice. Grim is limited going into this one, but it does seem like they're going to invest and not worry about that. So Grim on towards the Famous. The FAMAS.
Is it a Famous if it's a singular one?
Only if you put antlers on it.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, I suppose he's close to James Bond. Not quite a license to kill yet, but
No,
maybe we'll see him get there with the buys coming back on through.
Not Floppy.
Yeah,
Never.
Cool. Op up for Junior though. I feel like we haven't chatted too much about him just yet, but the op in his hand's quite powerful. Taking an early peek towards mid. Is he going to get tested? Sure, but the flash is perfect. Junior will fall away. Still not showing the position of that weapon.
And I think Paladin made a good point putting the onus on Junior in this roster, right?
Yeah.
He is the player with the most question marks about him, I would say. Obviously, he had that stint on Furia. There's a lot of reasons why that wasn't an ideal stint. That's all fair. But this is another chance at top-end competition, and this is where you're looking to see Junior make strides in his individual play and become something that they can use as a focal point for their setups. This round, he's pressured. Good shot. Quick on it. Hill goes for the peek in towards Pit, and Afro will punish that, so nothing more out from Junior's up, and that should decide the round. Yeah, early save called here for Complexity. They can't even think about it. It's not even a minute gone on the clock, and Heat have already taken the round. Nicely done here from the French squad.
Complexity took a couple forward fights in that quickly went awry. Trying to hold on to that bracket control fell against them. And he's just been fast on these executes, especially out towards this A site. Even with that utility to sustain in case Complexity did want to go for this one. But things have been confirmed. I'd like to see a timeout for Cole called pretty soon after this one. Couple of these early rifle rounds slipping away.
I think you let the next buy come through, and then that's when you start to get worried, right? Because that's where Heat's built up the momentum. That's where you built up the sauce.
This is fair.
Right now, you've really only had 2 rounds where there were major blunders. One of those particularly blundering.
Sure. That's fair, but you also get a little nervous in these best out of ones, especially for a team that maybe didn't have the strongest debut. Complexity does have a lot to prove in this event, and these early stages are one body. That was just disgusting, the way he manages to open up there. And there was the attempt at the re-aggression from Fang. None of that really working out. So now, just the saved weapons, Floppy JT with those guns to work with. Does the B site get tested? Heat haven't even really poked too much over towards Banana. Sure, a little early utility, but never actually aggressing in that earlier.
Yeah, not so much. The most Banana aggression we've seen have come out from Complexity. They've liked to take the control when they had the utility to do it. Obviously not going to be an option for them here, but they are going to put the 2 rifles, keeping it in the hands of the players who anchor. And once again, Heat's going to see what they can get out the brackets. It's obviously a good call, knowing what we do, our omniscient view. But Heat's reading this nicely. And they're going to come out onto a very soft site. 3 pistol players. They've already got the site. Joko starts to clean up these pistols in the pit, and it's over. No threat, no concern. The only question mark is, can Complexity keep these guns going forward, or will Heat maybe get a little more aggressive on the hunt? They haven't gotten too forward with this. They've got a MAC-10 here. They don't need that into the next round. I don't even think they want that into the next round. So, hey, go let Body see if he can't find something.
Well, he's found an AK, so...
Never mind then.
Never mind then.
Never you mind.
He'll tuck on in. He should be able to just hold on to these weapons, and Complexity should be allowed that same comfortability, but I like the play. Don't overcommit those weapons on in. They realize that this A site is an issue, and I'm sure that's to be shored up in this next rifle round. And I'm looking to Junior to be that man. We saw in that initial time where he got the op out, it's a peek out towards mid, early flash. I wouldn't hate maybe a little apartments aggression, try and cut that off, because normally Heat not putting the majority of that pressure on second mid, maybe an opportunity for like a repush in towards the late round.
That's definitely a possibility. I don't know if they've identified that necessarily, because they haven't been playing in apps either, right?
Yeah, I mean, they have been relatively passive across this whole game thus far for Complexity. The only aggression coming over towards Banana that's yet to even be tested.
So let's see. Op's going to come back through here. There's plenty of money to make it happen. JT will drop that over as well so that you can get a little bit more utility spread around. And here's where we're going to see what Complexity actually want to do here. They've got all the util, they've got all the guns. There's really no excuse in this round. So let's see if we get a little bit more of an interesting look on that A site. Or if it's going to be a bit vanilla once more. As we say that, where's the op headed?
Over towards A again.
Could be apps. You're getting your apps peak. You're getting your wish. They heard you.
There we go. And see, notice again, there's only one player on the side of this map, a bit heavier on the Banana from the side of Heat. And there it is, only one towards the apartment side. Now the rest of the team will join Grim. Holds this aggressive line. Junior is there to support him. Jump up not heard yet. Joko now he's made a step. Grim's going to be ready for this. Grim spots the shoulder, has the swing. It's a shutdown body. Wants to trade, and he'll find it, but Junior was still in position. Does he get greedy, or does he stand by the wall? Bang. A possibility, but he doesn't know. Fang now mollied, gets away. You're right, Junior's down, but still in this 3 versus 3, it's about buying time. It's about Fang staying alive as long as he can and denying the rotation of the bomb. It's alone for the moment, and out the utility will come. Fang still yet to be affected, and Floppy goes down on the rotation. Now the pressure continues to mount, but he's holding against it. Takes down Lucky, and the drop down's there. Bomb is on the floor. It's just Afro. Deeg for the first. He needs to find Fang. He needs to find him early, and he just can't. Pressure was on him, and Fang performs.
What a round from Fang. Back to the wall. Even loses his support coming in from the library when Floppy just gets ripped. And that, I mean, he had nothing. He had nothing. He was completely isolated. He needed to make the play. And he does exactly that. Brilliant bit of play from Fang. He is also able to isolate every single fight, right? He's not challenged by 2 here. He's using great movement as well around that pillar. Like to see it. Fang's a young guy. He's the youngest player on this roster. He's someone that we're looking at as a future potential star in North America, but it might be sooner than you expect. I mean, in that one FunSpark Ulti tournament they had competing here in EU, he was the MVP.
Yeah.
He didn't even win it, and he was the MVP.
So many impressive individuals on this squad. Feels like the biggest matter is just getting them to click just in the right way, and maybe some of those early indications is Complexity will return to a more passive approach to the apartment. Instead, it's the brackets being contested by Junior. Fang on the support will leave, but plenty of utility for Complexity to re-clear towards Banana. You see Floppy poking for that space, so we maintain a stalemate. As apartments has been taken, this probably looks to be a late round A hit, but Junior, he's yet to be found out. He's yet to be spotted on this angle.
Look at those eyebrows, furrowed, focused. He's ready. But is he going to hit the shot? Here it's coming around. The reposition is well timed. There we go. Shot from Junior. But he's lost his sight player. Going to keep the numbers to their advantage, but it'll be a retake setup. Can they transition the bomb towards sight? Body seems a bit nervous about doing it. Doesn't know if players are forward on it.
Sure.
Molotovs will give him comfort, give him security, and this should be the bomb getting planted. Numbers punched in, and now he can play the post. They don't have the numbers. They do have a single smoke remaining, but no flashbangs is going to make it a little bit awkward on the peak. They'll play tucked. They'll play in. See if they can't play off of each other's contact here.
Joko's position could be big. He can swing initially off that contact from his teammate. Will hold over towards the apartments. Nothing in that direction. Molly in. Off-angle force to be played. Floppy's dealt with the issue. And now this spam damaging. Keeps Exercise pressured, and it's Fang working back in. Well played out of Complexity. Plenty of time remaining on the defuse.
Using their utility advantage, using what they had available to them. They didn't even have to burn through everything, right? That's well drilled. It's clinical. That's the retake you want to see. And again, credit on to Junior. He's the one who sets it up. He's the one who makes it happen. These 2 kills in towards mid, securing that position, meaning that they have that forward foothold, which then puts the onus on HEET, where they don't have any information about where this retake's coming from, and they have to play a little bit more tucked and secure.
Still plenty of money left for the HEET camp. They've been able to get that early streak of rounds, consistent bomb plants. They'll be fine for now.
Yeah. T-buy. So flexible.
I'm looking towards Afro, though. Been struggling a little bit early on. With the AWP, and maybe he can be the one to counter out, as he's trying to be.
Oh, no.
Kid's aggressive with the nade. It is so strong. And it only takes 1 shot on the finish. JT, you know, he gotta add a little spice on top. 1 HP player, headshot, he'll do it regardless.
Might as well confirm it. You never know what that unconfirmed damage did. And he'll take that just fine. They're going to test the op. It's moved around. They didn't realize that Junior was here. Now they're a bit more timid. Flashbang timing is good, but Joko prevents that from becoming more of an issue. Still 1 for JT. There's not bad. Good flash to push Junior off the angle, but Floppy's still here. And they've got smokes to drop. So HEET, they're going to have to deal with a man disadvantage, and they're not going to be able to get the ground they were hoping for towards B. Now they're worried about a flank. They've left mid open this entire time. Someone could have been pushed. They haven't. But you got to be wary about it if you're the French squad. A little bit of cleanup happening on aisle B. And then they're going to try and poke back in towards the site and see what they can find.
Junior still has a smoke for this B defense. Take an initial shot, drop that down, provide support for Floppy to find impact from the new box. Cut noise, it will be the re-exec for HEET. And now that's given away. Smoke in. Junior still holding. The line's correct. And he pops up over, trying to elude the smoke, preemptively helping out Floppy. The molly will not hurt him, so Floppy stays alive. Again, it's Junior. When will the shot connect? When will he strike? It's actually going to be Floppy first. The swing's there. Cannot get the second. Junior can't trade. The smokes kept him at bay, but Fang has found it. Spray straight through the smoke, cuts it down. Bomb plane's going to be attempted. Junior, does he know? Not quite. Through the smoke, the spray, Joko! He thought he finished the job, but the food's still half-eaten. Fang stays alive, and Complexity claim a 4th.
Ran out of bullets. So close to that one. Joko, I mean, if you look at the numbers, 13 and 5, 162 ADR right now. He's popping off, but just not enough bullets in the magazine. Finish that 2K spray down. Nice job from Fang, the one through smoke, and then, of course, the one to finish it as well. Complexity now just 1 round away from tying this up. We talked before about how pliable the economy is. HEET may be taking some time here to figure out if this is where they want to risk it, and if so, what the adjustment needs to be, because you've now got 3 in a row for Complexity. This is starting to get out of hand.
Since Junior started hitting with the stop, yeah, it's a banger. I mean, they were talking about it earlier.
Wasn't Blair complaining about this?
I think he was a fan, if I'm recalling. I think he was. I'm hoping he was a fan, because I don't see why he wouldn't be.
I'm enjoying this. Tapping my foot here.
Yeah? Are you?
Kind of.
Little bit. Like a half tap.
Half tap.
Mild amount of.
I think half tap was what Joko did on that second player there.
Something like that. Yeah, but let's talk about Junior. How do they shut him down?
Well, so the interesting thing to me is that over towards that A site, we had the 1 apartment set up, but otherwise they're relatively comfortable getting a bit more passive on that side of the map. They want to close down the ground on B.
Sure.
So how do you shut down Junior? I think you just run a straight A exec. I think you just run your sort of vanilla smokes. You go back to that brackets control that they were doing. You set up the smoke to prevent Junior from getting on the angle, and then you try and isolate his 2 teammates before he can get back through. This is assuming he's playing lane.
Yeah.
No. Arch. Words are hard right now. You know, the other one, the one that's not lane.
Whichever one is on this map.
Lane is on this map. It's just the other one.
You are twisting my words. You have wrapped your brain up into such a nice little mesh pocket that now it's like here. Slowly infecting me. Sounds like there's a bit of a
along for the ride.
Yeah, bit of an FPS bug for one of these players. So we're just waiting for their computer to get everything shared on up before we do hop back into the action. But I think you make a good point, right? That's what their success point was. Early on, it was that brackets control. They're able to find it, but I'd like to see a little more pressure maintained towards Banana. In these rounds, normally they leave someone to watch flank, but they're never really re-pushing late round. They're never really proving that that can be a danger towards B, and I fear if that continues, Complexity eventually is going to push someone down. They're going to realize that that's going on and might try to put a little bit of a heavier presence over towards this A side if they don't see that early Banana aggression.
It is a good point. They're not playing a lot of just sort of defaulty leave players around. We saw it in the pistol, right, where Afro hangs back to make sure somebody doesn't flank out. But a lot of these rounds, we've either seen the full Banana presence or we've seen the full A commit where they're just leaving B open. Unfortunately for them, no one has really pushed.
I mean, there was that one round where they kind of re-cleared into apps towards late and then hit things over towards that A side, but for the most part, it's absolutely been kind of one side of the map, other side of the map. And in a BO1, I mean, especially with this tactical pause, there's plenty of time. Plenty of rounds left for Complexity to get a read onto that.
Maybe you leave a little bit more of an apartment lurk, just go sniffing to see if you can't get onto T-apps. Could be exposed. I don't expect Complexity to do it a whole bunch. I think that their setup as it is now is probably what they're going to stick with. I don't expect a ton of that A aggression, though if Junior starts to heat up, which he has been so far quite good.
It's true.
Could see it happen. Looks like we get a little bit of a match medic coming in here. So it might just be a minute. TC just died in the server, so let's talk about Mr. TC, the coach coming over. He's been with the core of this squad for a long time as well.
Oh, yeah.
He and JT in particular came over from South Africa together way back in the Project Destiny days of, what would you say, 2019? I don't know what time is anymore. So they've been together for a long time. Obviously, the consistency between that in-game leader and that coach allows a ton to gel there. So they're very much on the same page as far as what they want to do. And you heard Devil Walk talking about what a fan he is of JT as an in-game leader, of his flash pacing. And I think it's great for this roster, right? It's a new team, but the core is consistent, the calling's consistent, the system's consistent, and it's a system we've seen have success before with Extra Salt. And we're looking towards Grim and Junior to be those shiny new pieces that help propel them further.
It's the South African brains, it's the North American brawn.
Yeah.
On this roster.
I mean, I think JT's been in the country long enough that we're starting up his adoption papers.
We're bringing him in. We're counting him as a North American, and Labati, he'll cut it down. Lucky as well on the entry. Thought the idea was to just take this fast towards A. No, finally Banana contested, and a win to be found is, with both Floppy and JT dead, CTs will probably just look to try and hold on to these weapons, but Exercise is in a great position to hunt Jerem. Oh, this gets a little bit scary.
Is Jerem Junior and Grim's couple name? I'm intrigued.
They've combined into one.
This is the round where Heat did everything that we were talking about, right?
Jerem.
They leave the lurk to control the other side of the map. Exercise has managed to dodge all of the players, but he's still got the control and the information. And then they go for that faster B hit, as you were looking for. So, looking nice. I think, oddly enough, the timing is that Complexity's players have passed Exercise like ships in the night. I'm just going to slide on in to round number 11.
How often do ships really pass? Like ships
in the night? All the time.
Aren't there
I mean, you hope they
navigation lights
pass,
on
otherwise you hit them.
Aren't there navigation lights on them? Shouldn't they be able to see this stuff? And
Sure. I think it's an expression from a time when you didn't have electricity as much. But also, there are still definitely moments if you're out in the ocean at night where suddenly someone is way closer to you than you thought they were.
I'm reeling you back in. We're not allowed to. We're not letting you get on the sailing tag.
That's fair.
Maybe
That's
if we have
reasonable.
another technical pause, we can sail away and
Winching me back in, eh?
journey into a different direction. But for now, we just have to journey into the next round. Rifle still up for both of these squads, and again, He's gonna fight for the banana control. Nades forward, deal good damage, but Lucky probably winning out the better in terms of space for now. Flash setup. JT can blind forward. Floppy will be on that swing. It's off of Junior's contact. I don't know if it's going to be tested, though. Heat hanging back. They have recovered the bomb. Probably going to provide maybe a little pressure towards that A site. They will, but the question is, does it end towards this banana committal? They're trying further. Nade's perfect, though. They read into this setup. Floppy is forced to back just a little further away still. It's Junior's off.
Here's the thing, though. When the numbers have been here, Complexity have gone for more aggression on Banana. Not seeing that means this could get weird. Now, flashing yourself at a coffin, not ideal. Missed his jump bind.
I'm wondering, I wanted to believe that was some big brain fake. Who knows? It could have been, but now it works out. Flash forward. Floppy finds one, but the trade was there. Floppy already wounded, so tough to get out of those situations. But Junior hasn't shown the opposite here yet. They're still unaware.
The time is the issue as well, right? If Exorcist gets caught here, he's supposed to be the linchpin of this, but he's down and dropped. Fang might have the info on that. Junior's going to reposition. Now they want to play the time game. Smoke gives them more time, 35 seconds. Heat have to do this. They have to commit in. Surprise Junior drops off the angle there. JT gets one and Junior's lost as well, and that opens this right back up. This bomb's going down.
This could be a cataclysm for the NA side. Joko opts on the angle. Fang goes down. It's just Grim now. Does he want to go for this? No, probably not. Eats a tag off the op. Yeah, turn and run. Dude, just the same. Heat able to grab their 7th. And I like the way they play that in the mid-round. Constantly had that banana position. Provide some pressure with the nade. Keep the rotators from moving. Keep them on A. A little bit of utility goes in that direction. All the change-ups we were talking about those during that technical pause, they've happened. And it's finding some success. This is the point now where I want to see a cold tack.
We also just straight credit to Joko. Another huge round. 4K coming through. This guy's a monster right now. He has more kills than his next 3 teammates put together. Just to give some context right now, he is full on putting them in the backpack, saddling them up, 1 strap over each shoulder, and carrying them on his mighty arms. This is ridiculous right now. But the big blunder in this round is Junior's timing on the reposition.
Yeah.
Right? He goes back behind the coffin. I don't know whether he was trying to set up an aid or something, but he leaves JT kind of out to dry, and then trying to get back through it, leaves himself vulnerable to Joko making the big play.
Well, talk of big plays. Grim will have to be the man in this round. Only real weapon to work with on the Complexity Gaming side. The AK is going to position itself over towards the A site and towards apartments specifically. He's getting aggressive. Ooh. Complexity have never shown this before. This is really the first round where we've seen any aggression, and it's perfect. Catches one off guard. It's Joko down, and Fang is still here. He hears the footsteps. Knows Exorcise is on the move, but it's not enough to save his life, and Grim can't get it done. Great peek out of body, and now the round feels as though any chances are slipping on away. 2 players left alive, wrong side of the map. He'd already have the plant.
I think the technical term is dunzo. Very dunzo.
Very dunzo.
That's a round where Joko dies and everyone else has to do things. It's nice to see. They do, in fact, step up. That's going to give Heat at least 8 rounds in this half. Already looking good for them. Strong on Inferno. We do look to that attacking half to put in some serious work. They're delivering. They are delivering indeed.
And another frag on over to Exorcise. He'll get the remaining 2 from the Cole side. Fist bumps for everyone as he keeps this train rolling.
Call him, man, the janitor, because he's here to clean up after the round, right? He's just picking up those extra pieces.
Does he just have a janitor suggest there's a verb to janet?
To janet? I don't think that's the one, but I like it.
Janiting?
Janiting?
Would that be the action of cleaning up a round like that?
Dr. Jan Itor?
A little too specific, maybe. Junior does have the op back. We've seen what a win condition he can be for this complexity side. Where's he positioned with it? Still towards A. Does he want the mid fight? Maybe it's Fang instead. Running down, Junior to hold. Are they ready for it? Not quite. Floppy, well timed. Swing forward. Now the pressure's on, but some of it alleviated. Fang down. Joko again. He gets a double and brings things back into an even standing. Options, though, are still limited for Heat. Look out towards Banana. Floppy is still hyper-aggressive, and if they hit towards A quickly, it'll only be Grim.
He's got the log pile position, though. Do they have a Molotov to clear this out? They do on XAC. They do want to commit focus back through. So. I think I'm more nervous about the flank coming through, right? So Afro's going to re-clear this with the op. And this timing could get interesting. He's wary about logs. I don't know if the audio cue's coming through just yet. Timing going to be everything on this next kill. It certainly determines what Heat's going to do as a minute hits the clock. They could still hit the bailout option, but Floppy could shut this all down. But a bit of a quieter game for Floppy so far, but here's the moment to step up if you're going to do it. He's swinging to check. Exorcise, he's got the first. He's got the second as well, and it's over. JT came in to help, and it works out beautifully. Complexity take a 5th.
Really well timed on the rotation in from JT. He was just playing the swing in that round. Second contact was made by either of the players. He'd be on his way, and, well, the guard's rotation finds the proper timing. Complexity take the round. It's a good time to recover for this CT squad. And earlier on even, it was the aggression. Joko, he can be a hero, but it's not quite enough. The backpack was a bit too heavy.
And to be fair, right, if you're looking at that aggressive play and you're saying, oh, why do Complexity keep going for it? Once you've thrown yourself down that well, you kind of got to keep going.
You have to commit.
Right? Yeah. All your teammates are tied to the rope. They're all getting pulled down with you. You got to go for it.
The expected value of falling back is far lower. If you fall off that, you might live. That's great. But in dying, you probably don't even get a trade because you're trying to run to begin with. If you just stick to the angle, commit your life, well, a lot more can be found. regardless, round worked out. Now in this one, Heat's going to continue that pressure over towards the banana, and Junior is back. They're fine to concede the space for now on the complexity side.
What's the util look like? It's not ideal.
No.
Don't have... You do have a Molotov. It's on the Opera, though, so he's going to be focused in. Smoke's going to come up. He wants one shot before he drops, and the shot's not going to connect. Molly goes down, but they're already past it, and that's a huge kill from Joko once again. We're calling his name so often here, but he's stepping to the plate every single time. This bomb's going down. This round is over. It'll be a save for complexity. Heat even thinking about whether they want to try and get one more before they punch in the numbers. Daring somebody, tempting someone to give them another swing. All right, Joko. Eventually
He'll plant, surely.
Eventually, one day.
That's today. Well timed on the plant. Complexity. Another one of these rough rounds. I'd like to look better when we were seeing that heavier contention towards banana. This is the second time they tried to run a contact setup with the op. Deeper in towards that B site. The first time it was the nade to push Floppy back, and then the timing on Junior's reposition. This time, Junior just didn't get a chance to hit the shot. Misses out on his opportunity, forced to fall away, and knocked down. Joko's just so strong on these entries.
It's always going to be a trickier situation when you don't have the util for that B fight.
That's fair.
But, yeah, it didn't happen at all. Molly's way too late, and then just trying to swing back in. Not going to work out. It was a nice kill from Body, though. Sticking in the flames, committing to try and get the opera, knowing that even if you lose your life, you still set up your team pretty well. And he, 9 rounds found, looking for the double digits as we come to the close of this half. Here's your timeout from Complexity. They'd like one more. They need to figure out the money here. They need to figure out what they're doing. This is what we call like an accounting timeout.
Yeah.
It's almost tax season. Gotta get.
Don't remind me of that. Don't remind me of that. Some decisions to be made here and some investments to be split on. Joko looks scary in
That's
in
a good player picture,
right? Like that.
He's doing the esports pose, but he's
like
leaning
angle,
over.
The
Puts a new flavor on the esports
makes it
pose.
feels like it feels like he just got a 2K against me.
And those, I think those ADR stats are wonky because of the reset we had.
Yeah.
The one match medic.
Because he was definitely hitting before the match medic as well.
He had like 100 plus ADR. He's got 21 kills through 14 rounds. His numbers are bonkers.
Maybe. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
No accounting on in your camp. It's only for the coaches. All right. Joko in towards mid. Maybe take things a little bit faster. Complexity this time they have the utility for the banana fight, but they haven't committed the player count to it. Floppy's alone in defensive B. They're gambling on this A site just a tad. And it's Fang in close. Talking about something.
Looks like they're going to be tested. Fang wants to go through.
Really?
He's certainly set up for it. There's the smoke fade. He gets one. Off the MP9. It's not the worst result in the world. Do they try and chase in? They do through the molly, but Body gets nothing extra.
Nothing extra. And Junior's still here with the scout. They only discovered 2 players max, so they still don't know about this A stack and might still look to commit into it. At least to get a trade back till they go for it. It's such a risk, but still unaware. In the Heat camp, JT, he's ready on a swing and finds it, actually backs away instead. Won't get greedy. Junior with the scout. Does he have to cross? Absolutely. It only takes a tag, and JT will clean up. 9-6, Heat still ahead at the half.
Like that, I will love you endlessly. If you only believe in me, don't you be like that, I will love you forever. If you only believe in me, yeah.
By the way,
man's a monster. Man is an absolute monster. It'll be trickier to keep that carry performance up here through the second half, though, of course. But some really good pieces from Heat. Some good ideas as well, and they're going to go for an aggressive peek there. Get a ton of information off of it. May not get the kill, but the spot does give you some valuable intel. Now we might see the aggression come down banana. Look at this. They're poking. They're thinking about it. And they're going to commit a bunch of utility. The problem is, if this just chases their opponents further in towards A, well, that's not exactly the result you're hoping for. And as they probe more of the apartments, Complexity is gaining the space. Complexity is gaining this intel. And you might just find yourself with 2 players on site and a whole lot of T's barreling down on them.
Floppy. Oh, not actually first up. Instead, it's Grim to contact. Exorcist in the pit, and Floppy takes care of it. Joko on the site, though. Can't get anything done. Fang for the entries. The NA aggression is perfection with the flank. That's an issue. Junior, though, holding for it. And good to shut it down. That was a risk factor in the round. Now Afro alone, 1v4. He has a kit, sure. But time's ticking. And the player count so much to work against. No utility for him, and the health, that continues to dwindle down to just 36.
He's going to back away.
Keep the kit.
Keep the kit in the smoke. Take that $800 and run. It's petty theft, but he'll take it. He'll settle for it. Something to work with into the next round. It's something to give them. And as we've already seen, obviously those eco rounds are anything but a sure thing. So a little something extra to work with in that, maybe could work out. We saw an eco trade in the first half. Deagles could be deadly once more. Still, Complexity start out on the right foot here on their attacking side. We'll get the money flowing early. An MP5 up for Grim. It's a bit unusual. A couple of those SMGs will lead the charge for Complexity into this.
That they will.
Don't see a lot of MP5s.
No. Not too common. Some interesting buys. The Nova, where's that headed? Is that going to be kind of behind the divider?
Seen it yet.
Pona
All
Lone
right.
style, maybe?
All right.
That's what
no,
I'm hoping
apartments.
for. No. Yeah, apartments instead. Will this get tested? It's all I want to see in this round. Come on. Give us something. Yeah, tag on to Junior. Molly keeps them away for now. Floppy, give it to him. Come on, Nova. It giveth and it taketh. And in this round, it's not given too much whatsoever. At least the 1 kill was converted for the side of Heat, but will be the reassessment. Complexity have had space out towards Banana for quite a while, and Joko, he can buy time with that smoke, but can't buy a round. Grim is taking down the scout, and another kill. That seems to be the hope they've given it. Surely this calls for a faster hit out towards B. It does. Joko, though, the smoke is well timed.
They threw it. They threw it, and they've got the cross smoke, so he's pushed off. That should be the site taken. And one thing that oh, no, Body's actually found it. I was wondering whether they realized that a rifle was down in the apartments, but Body has gone back for that gun, so now there's something to hold on to if they'd want to take it forward. And that seems to be the call that they're making. Body all the way on the other side of the map. Not going to think about this one. Joko could get in, get that MP5, give them something to work with in the next, but it is going to be Complexity finding an 8th, drawing this to just within 1. That's not bad as a start here for Cole.
Not too shabby at all. Is there any position for a little bit more damage? Doesn't look like anyone will be testing. As the bomb does explode, Complexity now with the gap down to just 1 round.
So do you put anything around these? Maybe pistols. Maybe. Go for the bag 'em, tag 'em. Spread that scout around. Joko has the eagle, right? That's saved through. You got some things to work with here.
Is it the bag 'em tag 'em or the tag 'em bag 'em?
Usually it's the tag 'em, bag 'em. If you bag them before you tag 'em.
Yeah, that doesn't really... I feel like that wouldn't really find too much value.
No.
Maybe if you're talking about like a spray and wave tag, insult to injury, but if we're talking about the scout, it's gotta be the tag.
Tag 'em, bag 'em.
These are the technicalities that are very important.
Very
right?
critical.
Yeah, because you
Details
have to
matter.
name every play. If your play's not named, then is it really a play?
Oh, a little bit of aggression here from Body. Nearly catches JT, blinded up, but game leader's able to escape, at least for now. He's slippery. That bomb is making its way rapidly in towards A, and that's a bit awkward. Caught on out. The kills are coming back. And they're going to be able to deal with the stack. Everybody was here, with the exception of Mr. Body himself. But Complexity, they brave the danger. They dismantle the stack, and JT will prevent Body from getting anything out of this. Bit unfortunate for Heat. Seemed like they had the read, they had the positioning, they had the setup work out for them.
Yeah.
But they couldn't quite convert.
Pacing really good from Complexity. They feel out that something is up towards Banana, so go fast on that A site, and, well, the hold was perfect. JT able to shut things down. No flank comes through, no guns slip into the wrong hands, and a clean conversion into even odds. Heat, though, they have the reinvestment, and Afro has been bought into the AWP at a rough start on the T side, but in this round, he doesn't have to deal with Junior, and he has a good position for it. Gonna try and take a shot off towards the Banana, but finds nothing out of it as he will back on away. Body, where did that damage come from? tell if that was a piece of utility or if that was floppy at range. I think that was floppy at range.
It might have been. I think it might have also just been early damage coming through here. Because I think Buddy was playing towards B initially.
Yeah, and the quick re-rotation. I believe you're correct.
But my goldfish memory makes me doubt it.
See, anyway, you know.
Gotta have that short memory. GG, go next. Counter-Strike player.
Oh, Afro. Aggressive on the ult. Finds a shot onto Fang. Now this throws a wrench into the works for Complexity because they've had a lurk here. Floppy holding space out towards the apartments. Utility exchange. They probably want to end this A, but look at the rotations. Heat has already brought someone on over. Lucky will look to hold towards the bracket. When do they show? Now the French. No. Exorcise in the pit. Really has to be him. Floppy not looking. On the anti-flash, it's Exorcise. A double, and JT wounded still. Good on the swing, good on the fight. It's Junior, though. 1 versus 4. He's just not up to the task.
Big round from Exorcise. 2 huge kills there from the pit, right? Obviously, the first player dropping down must have just caught a flash because had no ability to isolate that fight to find that kill. And from there, it comes spiraling out of control. It was interesting from Complexity that having seen the op, they actually go towards it like moths to a flame, but I think they assumed that a rotation might come through from Heat to hide that op, to shift it, to disguise it. And they were correct. Absolutely. But shut down on entry towards the pit. So Heat maintain their lead. They maintain their control. They find double digits. This next round, this could be a swing either direction. This is a critical piece. Who's going to really be able to move into the lead with a full head of steam? That jump peek, dangerous. Fang's not able to punish. He wants it, though. You know he wants it. And now Molotov's behind him. He's going to have to go into it. He doesn't have an option. He's sitting in the smoke, and they don't know it. They don't know it. The smoke does fade, and he will be cleaned up. Joko to find that.
Now, though, for Complexity, they want to go fast towards A. They've realized how heavy the presence was on this B site, and Grim's through it. Now options. Do you wrap back? Take Grim into spawn, fight towards B. Lucky's ready for it. Grim shut down. That was the big player for the side of Complexity, now taken away. You could see the plan starting to line up, and now, you said this was a swing around, options so limited. Maybe you consider the save for Complexity. Still, though, a minute on the clock. So you hard-pressed to do so. Re-smoke up, though, and body to contest.
This is such a huge round for Heat, especially if they can keep this clean. 45 seconds, it's looking good for them. For sure. JT going to try and get his way on in, and he does isolate the one player, repositions towards coffins. There's some cover from these smokes. Joko, though, up on top of New Box is going to be a nuisance, a nightmare. Flame's not hitting him just yet. They might trust this a bit too much. Oh, the almost accidental kill there from Body. The trade is there, but this is dire now for JT. He's got nothing. He's being flanked out. He's being surrounded. He's wary that this might come through, but with the op and the low HP, just not sure he's going to be able to put enough bullets down range to give himself a chance here, and he won't even get started. Big round from Heat. They keep 4 alive. They keep themselves in the lead here, and now they've got a bank to fall back on, so you can feel more comfortable, you can feel more secure as you go forward.
And it all felt to Grim in that round. That push through, it had to be it, because he finds that frag, opens up options. The B-side player was alone at that time, so a split could have came through for Complexity, but instead he's shut down. Well thought out for Heat. They realized where the gap was. They patched it. No boats to be sunk today, as it will just be the Glocks. Afro on the jump peak towards mid. Might just have an opportunity here. Is there a flash behind this play? 1. It's in the hands of JT. As they wait for the fade on the utility towards Banana, there's a push ongoing. Joko, good spray. Ready on the angle and gets more. They're just lining up. And Joko, well, he's just taking a bite out of it. Only JT left. Joko on the cleanup. This man just steps up at every venture. 26 and 10 now.
26 kills. Just a few. Just a few. Nice little eco 4K there. I mean, that's one of those pad those numbers type of rounds, but obviously he's done it in the hard round, so he gets those eeks. He gets them. Little tasty ecos.
We were talking about everything needed a technical term. Is eeks.
Eeks?
The one for this?
Very technical. Big eeks.
Big eeks. All right, well, another big jump. Oh. This time it's a cross. Gonna go for a peek towards the apartments. The Molly burns down Afro.
I love the little details of keeping your head down, just staring at flames as they burn you.
Thorough. Floppy's in close. Exorcise is a supportive element here. He'll hold if Floppy tries to swing forward. And even if the initial frag is found, which it's not, Floppy down. this gets really weird now because Complexity realize there's an issue out towards A. They want to try and re-clear this space, and they found at least some over towards the brackets, but Lucky, he's tucked. Close angle, Grim just waits on the fade. Lucky knows the timing. He'll back on away. Doesn't want to concede another opportunity for Complexity to even this.
That was really similar to the setup we saw from, I think it was Grim and Junior in Apartments.
Yeah.
Obviously a little bit more stylish on the setup there. And now here's the thing as well, is Afro's sticking around. He's going aggressive out of the Apartments. This is bold. Timing could be rough here, and he does get caught. Made the bold move and may have just given up the advantage here for HEET. They still got the setup. There's one player in the site, one player playing here on the arch. If Lucky can get this, he holds one. He's looking for more. They line up, but are able to find the kill. Not enough bullets to chew through those bodies quick enough. And now there's an isolation element here for Exorcise. He's alone on the site. He can't have support quickly. Smoke up in Library. He finds the first. The second as well. Exorcise eventually taken down. This bomb will be planted. But it's a tough 1v2.
Junior. HP's low. Spots out body. And dishes out a good chunk of damage. Now, risks have to be taken. Junior spots them both. So much information, but the double swing's too potent. Joko again has it on the lockdown, and now HEET able to claim their way in towards 13 rounds. Complexity for such a rough start, right? Losing a man early, no trade for Floppy, nothing to come back on that re-clear. They do well for themselves. Take that space in bracket, find a frag, look like they have an opportunity to reopen towards the A site, but then the rotates are just so fast out of HEET. They bring it down to the 2 versus 1. Tactical timeout here called, second up for Complexity. The money's in a weird spot. You can maybe consider an investment here, at least in some AKs. Force probably the play. Only Fang Wars for wear.
I want to give big credit to Exorcise again. Obviously, he's second on the board right now for HEET, but the impact from some of these rounds from Exorcise are huge.
Yeah.
That one, he's isolated. He needs to get the kills. He needs to deliver. One's not enough. And he finds 2. He finds exactly what he needs to give them a prime chance to just close out that round, which they proceed to do. It's not bad.
Not bad at all. Now I gotta think through the options for this side of Complexity. Where do they want to take this one? The banana fight has been back and forth. Only a few rounds that they've been able to claim that space. You remember the one where it was a re-clear late from Grim, the attempt at that rotation that just didn't work out towards the B site. Apartments also has been an issue. I love the setups when HEET gets aggressive. It's never an overt risk. In that round, it was to an Apartments. Previously, it's been heavy towards banana, and talk of aggression, there's a little bit more spray away. Grim wants to punish, but he just can't. Now the boost up, utility damage is massive, and Grim should surely get cut down here. He does find one as the flames burn away JT. But in that trade, HEET, they still maintain the top banana control. They still have an op here that's ready for the boost. Not ready enough, though. It's just the tag through the wall. Fang fights back. We're into a 3v3 now.
Not quite sure how they got away with that one, but now it's going to be pressure on towards Body. Wants to be ahead of the smoke. Blinded does huge damage, but it's not the kill. If only there were a Molotov here, you could shut this all down, but it's a little bit too late. It's on the belt of Lucky, and he's nowhere to be found. Big kill on a Body. This bomb could go down, and I don't know how much they know of the damage that they've done. Exorcise repositioning. They could think about the save. There's plenty of money here. They don't need to, but they'll play together. If they're given nothing, will they go through with this? Another re-smoke on the cross. They gotta be nervous about it. Time ticking low. Kit's obviously available here for Exorcise. And he still have some util, so they are gonna go in. They are gonna do this. They're not finding anything just yet, though. There's nothing given for free. Time is getting low, and the first body dropped. Good for Complexity here, and they're going to be able to hang on and finally get a T-side round against the guns.
And it's off that banana control. Finally, they're able to find it. That boost, massive. Fang able to take down Afro. Practically wins this round. Really slim margin. And he managed to win it out. You brought up a great point. If the Molly was there, round is over. Even if there's an HE available, anything. The HP was low enough, but once you're into that post-plant position and the damage is unconfirmed, no matter the HP, it's tough to break. He's not quite up to that task.
Aggressive banana control here again. The mollies have been a problem for Complexity, though this time they'll respect them. And he instead will take the space. Lucky big kill, and he's got support as well. A shutdown towards the lane. No space given to Complexity, and 2 bodies lost in the exchange. HEET Be laughing all the way to the bank on that one. They can settle into their spots. They can call for the rotate as well. They've got this deep banana control, so they've got so much map control. They've zoned out so much of this space. What's there for complexity to find?
Brackets is what they'll hold on to, and Junior wants to find it, but it's Joko. And he's been good, but not in this one. Grim on that entry. So now options are open. The thing is, though, Complexity doesn't know how heavy this force is on the A site yet in the timing. Body on the re-clear. Junior! That's a repeat. Finds a shot, gets too greedy, but he's seen the forces. He knows what's going on, so we'll call for the rotation towards the B site. Complexity lumbers. But this retake, it can be strong, because Afro, he can just hold over towards the banana. Can maintain this space in the map and call for rotations. They'll come. Support fast behind him. This plant, it could actually be tested. Yet to come down for Cole. On the back of JT, he'll commit to it. Does a swing come early? They're looking to do so. Grim, 1-for-1. That might just be enough. JT in the clutch. It's a 1 versus 2. Lucky slow on HP. And JT has to reposition. A moment of respite for him. Time on this. In his favor. It ticks down continually. Exorcise. The healthier one. He'll look to play this trade. Lucky swinging, and Lucky's got the shot. Clutch denied, and the 14th for Heat.
Really nice spacing on that trade on the Coffins player. Lucky playing it well, playing it effectively. They'll even leave the time to go back and get the AWP. So, disaster averted here for Heat. They keep the money healthy, they keep it going along, and they keep the lead. Complexity back against the wall here. It's just a best of one, of course, so you're running out of opportunities here. You're running out of chances. 2 more rounds, all the French squad needs to salt this one away and move on early here at ESL Challenger 48.
Tough turns here for the NA squad. Lucky, good to find that initial frag, keeps himself alive and keeps himself nice and healthy for the retake. Feels like this banana control, again, is continuing to be an issue. Early for Cole. The molly's so deep. It's constant damage for Heat in the repost. I mean, the only rounds that they've been able to win the banana fight, it feels like it's just off heroics for Cole, right? You think about that boost up for JT where he takes the op off the line. You think about the round a couple earlier, where I believe it was just kind of a solo play in towards the late round. They've been very inconsistent in claiming this space early on in. And I think a big part of that has been Afro. It's not the most impressive scoreline from him. Sure, he's double negative, right? That doesn't look great. But in the second half, when he's finding shots with the op, it's crucial ones. And he'll be in a good position to do the same here. It's another force contesting the apartments. This time he is alone, though, so he'll have to play a little bit more passive, fall back towards his teammates at the awning.
Smoke up, but they still got the stack here by the awning. Smoke going to leave the possibility. They need to trade. They've got it, but not the numbers. It's swung against them. Body sticking around for more. Big work done, and the nade will chase it. Now it's left to Floppy and Junior. Space has been found for Junior, but he's not able to find the kill. That drops the bomb. Floppy, he's been quiet this game. They need a big round from him. They need the moment. He's not. Got it. Not here. Not now. That's map point found for Heat.
It's match point, too. Just to be a 1. There's not a second chance besides that lower bracket of the group for Complexity. Final tactical timeout. Their last chance calling on into this one. Again, it's just the early contention. This time it was over towards brackets. They find so much success for the side of Heat. And the money, it is so rough for Complexity. Tech 9 for Junior. Mac 10s. It's not what you want to see.
It certainly isn't. It certainly isn't. Grim and Floppy gone a bit missing in this one. They've had some moments, right? But they're 2 players that you look to be bastions of firepower for this team, and they haven't had them delivering, haven't had them hitting in this one so far. Heat, 5 chances. 5 swings to knock this one out of the park. Something tells me this one might just be teed up for them.
Well, it's teed up. But can they find that final shot?
3 towards Banana early. I'm curious if you see the aggression go again. They like to do it, and they've certainly got the utility for it this time. But a fast play out from the T's. Nade exchange there. Won't do much damage, and they'll realize what's happening.
The op was there the whole time.
Big shot.
Yeah, he was ready for it. Afro takes it down, and now Complexity forced to re-rotate. They bought all that space early on, but the molly's reconfirmed. so nothing gained off of that now. In towards the mid round, it's a wrap back towards A. But a setup here, Exorcist up top, and he has support. It's Lucky just on the other side to swing, waiting on the fate of the smoke. It's Complexity now. They'll look come forward, flash in, Exorcist down. Lucky had to remount the gun into his hand and not quite in time. So Fang trades back into 3 versus 3. But Heat is going to be forced to play this retake. His Junior dives in, takes one. That's massive. Out of the Tech 9, but Joko, he's alive. He's healthy in this one. He's aware of where Junior is. But do they even want to go for it? Nope. Rounds to concede still. You don't want to give these weapons on over. So they'll recover the op. They'll get out.
They've got the cushion. They've got the cushion to work with here, and they're going to play with it. Not force it in a situation where they have a disadvantage. They know they haven't been able to catch Junior. I think maybe if they find him early, obviously you think about going on into that one. The kill's not available for him. So they're going to back away. An 11th round at least found for Complexity as they try and push towards overtime. 4 more required. Still, especially with that op up on the other side, it's going to be difficult. But the money's not good in this one. There are some issues, some deficiencies, if you will. That eco could break before you know it, and then we are at very much risk of the full 30.
Close games. That's what you like to see. Complexity, though, they're on a hair's edge here.
This is the swing round. This is it, right? If this one cracks open, suddenly Heat are on the back foot, and they're starting to get very nervous about conceding that overtime. Still lots of time.
This is true, but the money breaking, the CT side, I mean, Complexity is a good squad to punish. Afro, where is he? It's felt a little inconsistent out of him, and now it's his chance. He'll find it. Op shot connects onto Grim. No one is in a position to trade or even fully re-clear the space. You see Exorcist up forward. The man is where it falls to. Utility was further invested out of Heat, but Fang has made it past, playing around the edge of the smoke. Its body towards the other side, just jiggling for contact. Cole will wait on the rotation. Nate even toss across. Joko can use that. Throw forward. Is the timing right on this? Soften up the opponents. The second they swing, smoke goes down, gets separated. Recipe for disaster brewing here. And Fang will be the one to break it. Out comes the util from both sides. Fall away. Joko with the molly and body smoked off. So, no way to contest it for that man. Instead, it just has to be the hero in the backlines. And Joko has been so fantastic in these situations. He takes down 2. Still fighting, buying time, and shutting down options for Complexity. Body, Lucky, both smoked off. So there's a moment, there's a chance, there's a second where Complexity can work through this, but now JT's been revealed. His HP is so low, and he cannot commit to the chase. Staying alive, that's the prerogative, and they've done it. 16-11 on the close.
Fitting that it's a big Joko round to send them over the line. 30 kills from the man.
Yeah.
30 kills. Incredible. And that first half, of course, it was a full carry act, right? But then he's delivering again through the defensive side as well. They're a much more complete team in that second half for sure.